Hello everyone, I'm Estelle and today I will speak about the social security system in France compared to the USA. So, firstly, what is the social security? Social security is a federal insurance scheme providing benefits for pensioners and those who are unemployed or disabled, or in another way, the measures and organization to guarantee individuals against certain risks of life. These risks include, for example, illness, industrial accident, maternity, old age, and unemployment. Social security is the protection that a society provides to individuals and households to ensure access to healthcare and to guarantee income security. Only 20% of the world's population has adequate social security coverage, while more than half lacks any kind of social security protection at all. Those without coverage tend to be part of the informal economy. They are generally not protected in old age by Social Security and they cannot afford to pay their health care bill. In addition, many people have insufficient coverage, that is, they may lack significant elements of protection, such as healthcare or pension, or what protection they do have is low or declining. Experience shows that people are willing to contribute to a social security benefit that satisfy their priority needs. It was once assumed that an increasing proportion of the labor force in developing countries would end up in formal sector employment covered by Social Security. However, experience has shown that the growing incidence of informal work has led to stagnant or declining rates of coverage. Even in countries with high economic growth, increasing numbers of workers, often women, are in less secure employment such as casual labor, homework, and certain types of self-employment lacking social security coverage. The most vulnerable groups outside the labor force are people with disabilities and old people who cannot count on family support and who have not been able to make provisions for their own pensions. Now, I will give you some key statistics to understand it a bit more. Only 1 in 5 people in the world has adequate social security coverage. These systems can differ depending on the country and their operating methods. It's pretty different for every country. In some countries, there is no social security. For example, in countries like Azerbaijan, Belarus, or Moldova. In sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia, only an estimated 5% to 10% of the working population has some social security coverage. In middle-income countries, social security coverage generally ranges from 20% to 60% to the population. In most industrialized countries, coverage is close to 100%. Also, increasing informalization of works results in lower levels of coverage, especially in countries in economic transitions. Europe is the region with the highest level of social security expenditure at nearly 25% of GDP, followed by North America at 16.6%. Africa has the lowest level at 4.3% of GDP. Lack of social security coverage is largely concentrated in the informal economies of the developing world, which are generally a larger source of employment for women than men. Now, we will see how this system works in the first place in France, and then we will see how it works for the USA. Social protection in France is provided by several organizations. First, it provides basic coverage to meet needs such as those related to illness, work-related accidents, occupational diseases, family or old age. These needs can also be supplemented by other organizations which are called complementary schemes. So we will see that in the next pages. In France, those services of social security are divided into 6 main branches. They form the general scheme of the social security system. The main ones are the family branch. The CAF helps families in their daily life and develops solidarity towards vulnerable people. The health branch, the CPAM or CARSAT, allows everyone to be treated according to their needs. Then the occupational injuries branch manages the occupational risks faced by workers. Then the retirement branch, CARSAT or CNAV, pays pension to retirees in the industry, services or trade sectors. Retirement depends on the job you have. Trained engineers may retire at 52, for example, because it is said they work long hours and undertake hard work, so that was when trains were not automated. Ballet dancer may they retired at 32 and utility workers at 57. So it also really depends on what job you have. Then there is the collection branch URSAF, which is unlike the others, does not manage a risk but collects social security contributions and redistribute them to the other branches. Then the autonomy branch, CNSA, created in January 2021, manages expenses related to the autonomy of the elderly and the disabled. This general scheme covers nearly 90% of the French population. Each French has to pay certain taxes and contributions, and in return, they benefit from this. Social protection is mainly funded by social contributions. It's really a system that works through solidarity, otherwise it will not exist. Social contributions are deductions from part of the salary received. Part of these deductions is paid by the employer and part by the employee, who is the beneficiary. The social security system is based on an implicit contract that binds all citizens. Everyone contributes according to their means and benefits according to their needs. Since its creation in 1945, it has been the basis of our country's life together. These forms of taxes are contributions. They are calculated on the basis of percentage rates decided at the national level and are borne partly by employers and partly by employees. Then the earmarked taxes are mandatory withholding that earmarked for social security financing. This includes the general social contribution, which alone amounts to more than half of all. The general social contribution and the social debt repayment contributions are paid on employment income, replacement income, property income, investment income, and gambling income. All persons treated as residents in France for income tax purposes and subject to a French compulsory health insurance scheme are liable to CRDS, which is 0.5%, and to CHG at the following rates: 9.2% on unemployment income, and then 6.2% on replacement income, like daily sickness benefits or unemployment benefits. In France, all employers hiring an employee are first required to file a pre-employment with the relevant institution in charge of collecting Social Security contribution. In this case is the URSSAF. The declaration enables registration for Social Security purposes of employees without a Social Security number, as well as registration for unemployment insurance purposes. For supplementary pension schemes, employees are registered with the scheme to which their employer belongs, which will depend on the company's location or line of business. The URSSAF agencies collect and distribute Social Security contributions and charges. They finance the reimbursement of medical care, medical leave, maternity and industrial accident benefits, and fund basic pensions and family benefits for those recovered by France's General Social Security Scheme. And also all foreign citizens, whether or not they are an employee, can continue to contribute voluntarily to their home country's social security system to still receive these benefits every month when they are in need. In a 2000 report, the World Health Organization ranked it the best national health care system in the world. By providing pensions and medical care, in France, the life expectancy has increased by 3 months every year in the past 20 years. Now, we will see how it works in the United States. The Social Security was first initiated by Franklin Roosevelt in 1935 and was designated as a safety net to support retirees and the elderly. And the system has gone through several changes over the past 85 years. At that time, only 1% of people's income went to Social Security. Now 6.2% of an employee's income, and another one from 6.2% tax on employees goes toward Social Security. The Social Security Act and related laws establish a number of programs that have the following basic purposes: to provide for the material needs of individuals and families, to protect aged and disabled persons against the expenses of illnesses that may otherwise use up their savings, to keep families together, and to give children the chance to grow up healthy and secure. There are conditions to receive these monthly Social Security benefits. For example, we have a disabled insured worker who has not reached full retirement age, a retired insured worker age 62 or older, the surviving spouse, including a surviving divorced spouse of a deceased insured worker if you are age 60 or older, or the dependent parents of a deceased insured worker age 62 or older. You can calculate your benefits based on your actual based on your actual Social Security earnings record. In order to receive benefits, you have to have paid into the system. Social Security benefits are paid based upon the record of your earnings. Retirement, disability, dependence, and survival's benefits. Social Security payments to beneficiaries, which totaled $1.05 trillion in 2019, are generally financed by payroll taxes on workers in Social Security covered employment, trust fund, reserves, and some income taxation of Social Security benefits. We will describe these four categories now. Workers who have worked in covered employment for a sufficient number of years are eligible for retirement benefits when they retired at age 62. In order to be eligible for Social Security benefits, you must earn enough credits during your working years. This usually means you have worked a total of at least 10 years of work at a non-governmental job. But in 2020, it was set at 67. And the earlier you claim your Social Security benefits, the lower your monthly payment will be. Americans often choose to work until or well past retirement age, either because they have to because they need the money, or they want to because they might fear to have nothing to do in the future. How much are your Social Security retirement benefits? Your Social Security retirement benefits will depend on how much money you earned during your working years and your age at the time you start collecting benefits. Similarly, your Social Security disability benefits are based on your eligible lifetime average earnings. Take, for instance, your earnings record. Since you began working, Social Security has recorded your reported earnings under your name and Social Security number. And Social Security updates your record each time your employer, or you if you're self-employed, reports your earnings. Your earnings determine your benefit amount. Social Security actually calculates your benefits based on the monthly average of your 35 highest income earning years. And if your earnings are wrong, well, you may not receive all the benefits to which you're entitled. But the risk of disability or premature death is greater than many realize. Some 6% of recent entrants to the labor force will die before reaching the full retirement age, and many more will become disabled. If you haven't reached retirement age but have met the work requirements and are considered disabled under the Social Security program's medical guidelines, you can receive benefits roughly equal to what your full retirement benefits will be. If you are the spouse of a retired or disabled worker who qualifies for Social Security retirement or disability benefits, you and your minor or disabled children may be entitled to benefits based on the worker's earning record. This is true whether or not you actually depend on your spouse for your support. If you are the surviving spouse of a worker who qualified for Social Security retirement or disability benefits, you and your minor or disabled children may be entitled to benefits based on your deceased spouse earning record. When you work, you pay into the American system by having a portion of your earnings taxed and earmarked for Social Security. So, we can say that the Social Security system in these both countries have advantages and disadvantages like everything. But for example, in the USA, you can see that after retirement, a lot of people still have to work part-time job because they don't receive enough money from the state. And you're never sure what your real earnings will be when you will be retired. And Social Security faces insolvency in France in 2035. According to a recent study, France's convoluted system will be bankrupt 10 years earlier in 2025. Macron wants, in this case, to standardize the retirement age without spending less. He hoped this will placate the workers, but he has not done so. And also in France, now the retirement age has gone really up. They want you to work as much as possible to still have pay into the system so that they can still provide benefits from other people, because if too many people are retired, then there's a problem for the benefits contribution. So that was my presentation for today. Thank you so much for hearing me out, and thank you.